chance to win a 3-night stay at Marataba Safari Lodge for you and a friend. In addition to a spectacular land-based safari, Marataba luxury lodges offer an opportunity for guests to cruise peacefully along the Matlabas River, watching the animals as they drink and wallow. The lodge offers you a chance to lie by the pool or enjoy a spa treatment, and one night could be spent sleeping out under the stars in a luxurious treehouse. Sign up to be a Wild Earth Explorer before the 30th of June, and it could be you heading off on a long-awaited getaway. Wild Earth Explorers, it's in your nature.
Hi everybody, I'm Tiana, I'm from Johannesburg, and I am one of Wild Earth's biggest fans.
Been watching for 4 years, DG here from the Ozarks.
It's been 4 years for me, and I'm not leaving anytime soon.
It's given me a time away from the hassles of the city, and it's given me a connection to a place that has stolen my heart, which is Africa.
Last year we lost our son, and now we're just watching Wild Earth. Love to all you guys.
You are reminding us of the role that we play in nature conservation, each and every one of us. You have reconnected myself to a dream that I had as a child to get involved in nature conservation, and for that I'm really grateful for as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I'm Nikki here at Ambion Ngala in South Africa. I love getting questions from viewers about all the small things within the environment and how it all is integrated with one another. If you want to ask me any questions, please simply register with the Wild Earth website, head across to the Live Safari page, and then post your questions there. I'm looking forward to chatting to you on my next Wild Earth drive.
This program features live coverage of an African safari and may include animal kills and carcasses. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good morning, everybody. Morning, welcome to Djuma Private Game Reserve. Here we got such a beautiful antelope, all the grouping up together where there are Impalas. And then they are just taking it easy. The wind is about to pick it up a little bit. And if that's the case, then they might actually stay in their open slightly. So jump aboard to your very own live safari through the African bush. Good morning everybody. Welcome to Djuma Private Game Reserve again, here where we're still sitting looking at the group of Impala, or a rank of Impalas, still actually early feeding for them. They may sometimes take a nap around here the whole night, when now still the temperature has dropped, so we're sitting home. So my name's Andrew, and on camera I have Theo this morning. And they're a little fluffy. So the temperature of today, we're sitting on the 13 degrees Celsius, 56 Fahrenheit. Remember, everybody, we want to hear from you. If then you can send your questions and comment using hashtag Wild Earth on Twitter, but also at FC on YouTube. Those of you still under the age of 18, you can pop us an email on kidquestions@wildearth.tv. And also a simple way is to go on the Wild Earth website and head over to the live safari page, and there you can submit your questions, and then we'll be able to interact with you guys, answer your questions when you ask anything you want to know about a wild animal. I'm actually not sure, but so myself out here, and then Cedric as well is going to be checking on a part east of the camp, where I'm going to be heading west. And then eventually I would also be jumping into Chito there, looking for probably a spotted cat at Lalamba. She was not around there. And somebody finally discovered the kill that is stolen, which I didn't actually have a privilege to examine the kill or see the kill around there. That's what it's happening this morning. So we're gonna drive few roads. Hopefully we bump on her. And then Mike in Pride Land, he will be also mobile about to search what they could find for everybody. So at the moment I'm gonna keep driving. Well, this Impala, they're actually on quarantine, where at Lalamba she was to the right, but north of the camp. Nobody know how far she moved from there. And that update I got this morning, it just sounded like the guys have checked yesterday and found out that she's not around. So a Mandy, you're commenting saying that you're hoping to see some spot. True, 100% true. And then I'm also really hoping this morning the temperature is still down and a lot of misty. It's actually simple to tell the tracks or even to see the tracks from last night clearly. But for me, really, I wouldn't mind any of the different cats or different leopard around here. Whether it's Kara, whether it's the Dulu, whether it's the Kalamba, Moya, where she often come from the south, north into Djuma quite a lot. So everybody, let's take a look at the weather on all our different locations. Everybody, still driving. So the axis that I'm checking is the Vietnamese axis. It happens that leopard comes south from that position. This is how we get to see the tracks. So glad that everywhere it's mild in terms of the weather, and it's good to search for these cats so that the weather, when it allows us, and that's when it's not actually foggy morning, no mist, and you still see through those tall grasses thicker. And they're 6 years old. So you're asking, do I think the elephants, are they awake still? So I think so, they're awake. And the reason I also agree that they're awake is that they don't actually sleep for so long. And then they spend a lot of hours eating, and then only take maybe an hour or hour and a half for sleep, but the rest of those hours they got to be up on feed and moving about. But I'm also hoping that we may bump on them, because there was a lot of elephants yesterday around Djuma. Not sure where they came from, but all of a sudden they just came in, a lot of them. And I heard that they have pushed the pride that we had. The pride that we had yesterday, so we can't find the pride. So I'm gonna change this road. I haven't actually checked far up enough west, so if Talambat happened to come this way, or we would already seen the tracks, but maybe she didn't come south then at all. And I'm gonna go check a different road. Quickly examine the sunrise there. Still a little bit.
Good morning and welcome again to Djuma Private Game Reserve. It is a very nice morning today. We were looking now at some ground hornbill who's unfortunately walking away from us, but we will try to relocate a bit and find them again. My name is Cedric and I have Morgan on camera with me today. So our plan for today, we're currently taking the eastern side of Djuma. We found some lion track on the road. We will try to follow up with that. So I will just try to relocate. It's quite difficult to see the hornbills, but I will just try to go a little bit on top and see if we can get a better view. They are quite far in the bush, maybe, and they're currently moving. So let's wait here. There's one that might come in the opening there. It is very difficult to see. I apologize for that. Yeah, maybe if we zoom a little bit left. Should be one coming in the opening soon, I hope. Yeah, so it was quite a big flock of ground hornbill. There we can see one. They are beautiful. So the adult will have a red face. The juvenile will have more dark face or yellow face. They are quite big birds. I'm not sure of the size of the wingspan, but they look big. They spend most of the time on the ground, but they can also definitely fly, and they will spend the night in the trees, where it's more safe for them. Yeah, I don't see them very often. Yesterday I was lucky, we saw two, but it was already dark, so it was a bit difficult. But now they're walking, probably foraging to catch some insects, reptiles. Yeah, unfortunately they're a bit far. Yeah, Jerome, they're quite tall. They will be about 70, 80 centimeters. They are big birds. And it is good for them to be a bit tall because as they spend a lot of time on the ground, it is a bit easier for them to find their prey in the bush. As I was saying yesterday, they are very endangered, but the numbers are rising at the moment, so this is very good. Just waiting a bit to see if we can get a better view. Yeah, we're hoping today to check the eastern side. I saw some line tracks on the road here. So we will check on that. And yeah, so they're a bit smaller than what I say. They're about 52, 55 centimeters. But they look big. When you pass them, they are big birds. They are the biggest hornbill that we have here. There's different type of hornbill on the reserve, some southern yellow-bill hornbill, southern red-bill hornbill. Yeah, we are the bigger one. We also have the African grey hornbill, and yeah, so there's lots of hornbills. Okay, let me try to relocate quickly. But I think they will be moving further in the bush. Lion's tracks.
So everybody, we got a guys that went to that position of where Lalamba she was. But also they say that the track was finally, the last track was coming south towards this area. And then I have actually drove the same road that I drove from these Impalas. Because, you know, there's a drainage line between Quarantine and that area. So if it happens, she's around in Impala here. Maybe it means she just fled somewhere in the grasses. I don't know what she lost her kill into, hyena or... Because the last update was saying that the kill was up in tree, but then was not there. And the guys checked for the second time. With a little wind that it was about to pick it up, makes the cat to practice their experience of how do they approach the prey species like this. So they seems to be moving away, but it's also very good for us. If she would be looking at them, it's a chance she may show herself towards the road. So, Mary asking what type of vegetations the Impalas eat during the winter. So they still nibble on the very short of grasses still, and they would go for any type of vegetations out here, except for these toxic trees such as the tamboti trees. But the rest of the other plants they can do, and they're more likely to participate on a falling big tree that they have pushed by elephants, and they will take pretty much tip end of these twigs. As long as it's not actually dry wood, they can still do that. Some small herbs, they can also feed on them when there's no grasses. So type of these acacia negracis, it's pretty much their favorite as well when there's no grasses. Impalas are balanced in terms of diet in the winter because they feed pretty much in few space. I'm just going to take a listen to this monkey. So everyone, there are monkeys calling, but the Impala, it looks like these monkeys calling way down on the other side of the camp, pretty much on the eastern side of the camp, and the Impala hasn't actually been aware of that. It happens maybe she's between a camp, the Kalamba, or it's another, maybe a cat. And that's where we're going to go check it out. Oops, there's Impala running slightly away from the bush there, but maybe it's not very serious. They just ran and stop and looking. In Kululeko, so you want to know if there's Impala in danger at night. So a lot of time Impalas, they get hunted at night and also during the day. But we understand one situation where they actually they are medium animal or medium antelope, which they're hunted by many different predators here, including these wild dogs and cheetahs or leopards, lions. But for that, they don't actually come in danger. They are main food source for many of the carnivore species. So yes, they do actually get hunted much at night. So now, the reason I'm saying they're not endangered animal, it's pretty much first things what involved in that situation whether their breeding habit, it's not there for them, or the people, us human, we involve in their lives, killing them somehow for some reason. Which Impala, they actually balance breeding very well, they're seasonal, and they breathe very well. You can see how they are led. So the guys are going to be checking that alarm call, and then we're going to be stationary looking at this Impala.
I'm Maggie, also known as Mia My Cat on Twitter. I purchased the Ticket to Dream so that I would make it back to Africa someday, so here I am. I enjoy Wild Earth very much. Just the experience it brings to everybody, it just helps everybody cope with things.
If you want to go on safari with a Wild Earth guide, whilst honing your bush knowledge and of course featuring in one of our shows, then head over to our website.
My favorite part about today is seeing Mariggs, seeing him stalk the waterbuck and seeing the interaction between the waterbuck and him, and he's just an impressive little guy.
Sign up to be a Wild Earth explorer and you could be making your first ever on-screen appearance.
It's very exciting to be on a live drive at Juma, to see how things work in the back and to be certainly much closer to the animals.
As one of the industry's best and Fagasa Indoors training institutes, NJ Moorfield Guide College produces professional guides of exceptional caliber and gives students from around the world an incredible experience. NJ Moore offers courses to suit all types of interests. The full-length career course results in a Fagasa accredited qualification and the option of a 6-month internship at one of Moore Family Collection's luxury safari lodges. Shorter courses are a great introduction for those considering a career in field guiding or even a life-enriching experience in your gap year. With spaces still available in July, don't miss out on this fantastic opportunity to live your African dream.
My name is Ross and I'm a field guide at and Beyond Pinda Private Game Reserve. I love getting questions from guests on Wild Earth because I love sharing and learning information about nature with new people, and it also makes me feel like you're all joining me in real life. If you want to ask a question on Wild Earth, then you need to register on our website. Once registered, go to our live safari page and submit your question below our live feed.
So we're currently driving alongside the eastern boundary of Juma. On our right is Torchwood. The last track I saw in the block was going south, but we didn't find anything there, unfortunately. So I'm going to check. Maybe it came back on the road and went a bit further on. So we're driving to the boundary, the northern boundary now, and see if we can find tracks or even maybe find a lion. The sun is rising now. So it is the first time for me driving on the eastern corner of Juma. So it's nice to discover as well. So we just reached the route. Yes, Juma, it is beautiful in the morning. So yeah, so it is beautiful, I must say, and we are very privileged to be able to work from here, and I'm glad that you're enjoying it as well. At the moment we just reached the boundary. I'm just going to stop here. Unfortunately I can't go a little bit further now because we might lose signal. And I can see nothing on the road. Yeah, so I think we're going to maybe stick around here and see what we can find. Yeah, let me reverse. You would like to know if it's possible to traverse all 4 boundaries in one drive. Yes, it is, but you will mainly have to drive on the boundary. So it's a bit like a square. So if you drive all around, it will be possible, yeah. So Juma is about 1,200 hectares, which is make it quite big. This is why sometimes it's not easy to find the animals, but we're trying our best. We are in an area though that we can't move too much. We have to stay quite high for the signal. The colors is beautiful when the sun comes out. Obviously during winter it is more dry, so it's more like an orangey color with the leaves and the grass, which is lighter, and in summer, as you know, it's way more green. It was nice to see some ground hornbill this morning. Hopefully we'll be able to find something interesting soon. Some buffaloes here. You can see a lot of buffalo dying around. But I can't see any buffaloes. It doesn't look that fresh. As you know, they eat grass, as you can see. So that's a good sign. Maybe we came onto Juma maybe yesterday or last night. So let's drive around and see if we can find them. Stacy, you would like to know if when buffaloes come to Juma, if it scares animal away? Not really. It can happen that they start chasing lions, but the lions would also might to hunt them. So not really. They are quite relaxed generally when it is a big breeding herd. So they just go on by doing what they like, feeding on grass, and no, they don't really chase the animal away. The more aggressive buffaloes would be the Daga boys. So it's basically the old bull that left the herd and walking alone. Well, they can be alone or group to 10, up to 10, 12 buffalo bull, but they will not really push the animal away. It happens sometimes that they get into a bit of a rumble with elephants. It has been recorded one time elephant, and then the mom of this young elephant came and really smashed the buffalo. It was quite impressive to see. I didn't see personally, but it was, I saw the video of it. But herd of buffaloes can be very big, 300. Generally, you found big herds in winter. They tend to gather more together in winter. And it is quite impressive to see when you are driving and you are finding yourself in the middle of a buffalo herd. Okay, so we'll continue driving and see what we can find. We'll send you now to Mike to say hello.
Cold and quiet this morning, hardly a breath of wind, and very quiet at the dam. Hi everyone, my name is Mike Anderson, behind the camera is Impala, and this is Ecotraining's Pridelands Conservancy, where apparently it's about 12 degrees this morning, but I beg to differ. I think it's much colder. I think it's more like 45 degrees Fahrenheit, maybe like 8 or 10 degrees. It's frigid. Yesterday we had a lot of activity at this dam. There were elephants all over the place, there were impalas, there was nyala, there was just a ton of things. So I'd like to see if today with this colder temperature, whether it's going to be as busy. I think as it warms up it's just as dry, so hopefully it will hot up in terms of activity. We actually heard a few impalas alarming earlier, so we're wondering if those hyenas and leopards are still in the area. Nothing major happening last night in terms of vocalizing, except the goose. Goodness gracious me, those Egyptian goose just don't stop. Triple G, we did find that hairy, scary, growling thing. To be honest, it was not what I thought it was. I thought it was a group of lions that were fighting over a carcass, and the hyenas were bothering them. We didn't have signal there, so we couldn't show you, but down close to the drainage line of this dam, we found an impala carcass in a tree, and it looked like maybe 2 leopards had been fighting over the carcass, and then the hyenas were getting involved, stealing the food that was dropping out of the tree. It was very interesting. And so as we were walking, we heard a growl, not so far from us, and then we stalked all the way around until we got on the right side of the wind and the sun, and we found the carcass in a tree. I think the leopard had long since seen us and had gotten out of the tree and disappeared. But some of the game viewers went to check a bit later, and the carcass was now out of the tree and had been dragged away. So definitely leopards. It's a shame that it was in a bit of a drainage line, so we couldn't show you. However, those leopards do tend, after they've been feeding, to come and drink, and there's no other water in this whole area apart from here at Antelope Dam, so fingers crossed for a little leopard action.
So everybody, we're still on a look around here. Also attack sometimes listening around because the monkeys all stop. And there was a vehicle that was trying to investigate the area, and they can still see the monkey but still looking around but not calling anymore. So I'm also going in that direction there to give them a hand. Once the monkeys, whatever they're calling about, disappear, and they will stop calling, but they will keep an eye for any other movement. So we'll try look around, see if we can pick up a cat around here. take another listen again. So everybody was still investigating the area where the monkey was calling about. There's one vehicle they have already investigated the area, but I can still see the monkey still looking around also, but not calling anymore. And then we're also coming to an area because once the monkey, they lost the sight of whatever they saw, and then they were just going to be quiet, but they won't stop looking around. So we're now checking on the eastern side of the camp, Vuyatela camp itself. Nandy, so you're asking in which species of antelope has a higher number of population? It seems to be the Impala that are higher population out here. In the Impala, they seen a lot of different groups. And they breed once a year, but every year. And then you find 50 of them. They give birth to a lot of babies in 1 or 2 months. So this road has been checked already, but I'm still gonna probably drive where they came from, and this is how we're going to be working together with them. So yeah, Impala, they're the one that actually population is higher. So we're going to drive where they came from, and then probably they're going to check where we came from. Rabbit. So you're asking which type of monkey that was calling earlier? Velvet monkeys. And then they're the only monkeys, or the species of monkeys we get in here. We don't have such as the mango monkeys. Those probably in Madagascar most. So yeah, velvet monkeys are the pretty much species we have here. Just want to take another listening again. quiet. We're going to carry on. So, monkeys, this species, they have a lot of different calls. But the call that we just heard there, it was alarm. It means that they saw a danger. So I'm going to be sending everybody across to Mike, who has a hunting heron.
That's a grey heron that's currently sitting on the edge of what's essentially now just a mud wallow. And it was water until a few days ago. And then we had this huge group of elephants that came in and drank a lot of the water and splashed about in the mud, and it's basically drying up at a phenomenal rate. Now, that heron is now there. Usually is in the main body of water, but because that is becoming so shallow so quickly, I'm sure there are a lot of frogs that are caught in there, isolated, and now that heron is probably picking them off with a fair amount of ease. So I'm sure it's getting a nice, good feed. And it's also got quite a lot of sun there, so it's probably warming up as well. It's really strange. There are these incredibly warm gusts of air that are coming through every now and again, which is really odd. But it's pleasant, certainly. Very pleasant. If you can hear some green wood hoopoes cackling off to our right or to the north. I can see hornbills, geese. I saw a Virgil's cuckoo and the grey heron. So there's a fair amount of bird life, especially after such a cold morning. Now they'll be very actively searching out the warm patches of sunlight on nice perches to try and quickly warm up. Susan, mostly frogs, but there'll be large invertebrates as well. You know, maybe some, I don't know, what kind of invertebrates would be there? Beetles and larvae of dragonflies and all sorts of things. Mostly frogs, though. There might even be very small catfish. We've seen this, in fact, it might be this exact heron. I've seen this heron swimming like a duck over the Ndlovu Dam, literally just swimming like a duck, paddling with its feet, and then catching a very large catfish. But there's not many catfish here, unfortunately. What's it doing now? I can't see. It's very far, and I have packed away my binoculars already. Goodness. Did it catch something there, Paul? No. It's sort of dipping its head into the water. Maybe it's just having a drink, I don't know, or cleaning its face. It's quite a large bird. Well, it's a very large bird, so it's not really going to be hunting for anything smaller than a frog, really. It won't pluck off the water skimmers and the water boatmen and things. Just too small and too much effort required for such a small meal.
As the sun goes down in Africa, for many, the day has just begun. Wild Earth is ready for the next brand new concept, and this time, it's at night. A specialized thermal drone will take to the air under the cover of darkness. As it flies above the bush, it will be searching for hotspots on the ground.
We might have a leopard on the far right of this group of hyena.
The ground team will then be called to identify the animal.
It is a warthog. That's exactly what it is. So there we go. It was a warthog that was running away from... Sorry, Warty.
And of course, it is at this time when the big cats are on the hunt.
Yeah, James, just head a little bit more left.
Okay, Gabby, I'm going to go north around on Impala Road.
Okay, the lions are on the move, guys. Lions are chasing the wildebeest.
Wild Earth is looking for a sponsor who can help turn this show to a long-running series. If you are interested, then head over to our website to find out more. wildearth.tv/sponsors. Across southern and East Africa, the Endangered Wildlife Trust works tirelessly to save species, protect critical habitats, and benefit people. Join the EWT in returning wildlife to the wild. Go to ewt.org.za to find out more and follow our socials to see how you can get involved. Protecting forever, together.
I love being a cam-up for Wild Earth. The animals coming right up close to you, especially like lions. Sometimes you get nervous, but you have to go with the flow. My favorite animal to film is the elephant because of how big it is. But when it's really up close to you, it's one animal that you would say, I really respect you.
Guys, just watch what's happening. See, watch the elephant, watch the lions. See, the first ones to run are the cubs. Can you see them? They are right here. I'm not sure how scared you were, but I was quite nervous. But absolutely incredible.
Expect the unexpected here on Wild Earth daily.
So everybody, we come very stationary here at Kari Dam, but listening to any of the sound that may be made by other impalas or any other various different species of antelope. But we've got a brown hooded kingfisher sitting there. And these are the kingfisher that they just sometimes be harder to be seen, but they would be around this winter and this summer as well. I don't know what is seen back there, but it's probably seen something. Darcy, so you're saying it's a beautiful kingfisher. It is a beautiful kingfisher. I understand it's still kind of a very morning. The feather not fixed properly, but you still see a beautiful of it. Yes, asking which kingfisher that stayed around this area of Djuma the whole year. Pretty much this one. And the rest of them, there seems to be migration as well. If we're looking at the other species, It's quite actually different species that are come only during the summer. But I've seen striped kingfish as well, where they are the smallest of amongst the kingfishers, but they're just extremely rare to spot one. But those woodland kingfishers, many of them, they already have returned back to their home where there's probably warm up there, so they follow season around quite a lot. And this one also would feed mainly on the insect, a small lizard as well, including some small chameleon if they're ever around, crabs, small rodents, small birds. So they are not really hunting fish at the moment. We got some other guinea fowls there, also doing their feeding. They're just so gorgeous. Spend a lot of time, these guinea fowls, on the ground, search for a grass seed. There's somebody there. 3-banded plover, also on its search around the watering hole on the edge. Like that. So you're asking, what do they use the element for? So on the guinea fowls, so usually the element, it's probably presenting, especially on the males, presenting males status, and of course male would have such a kind of a wattle around, but they don't actually use them for fight or anything. The guinea fowls, they just have them. But mainly of these birds, we use when they fight, it's just like a rooster, just a chicken at home. They would actually trap one another using their legs, their wings. So they don't actually use these elements for some reason. So the reason I'm sitting here at the Kari Dam is because of that audio of a monkey was this direction, and then the other guy he actually checked here, and then now he's just checking where I just came from. So we kind of like cover around a little bit. Also, being stationary is a chance that we may find out what it is happening around here. So, Angela, you're asking why this bird keep pathing. Probably it's further up. So, it's getting slightly warm. And then for them to fix their wing, it's always idea. Most birds, when they do that, it's because after, when their feather are been slightly wet, and they can either shiver a little bit, make sure the feather are all fixed properly. And also when it faces away from the wind, and the wind seems to be probably disturb the back feather, so it looks like it's bigger bird. It's just because of that wind. But also bird, they always, when they perch in that wherever position, just like that, now just turn around, face where the wind come from, so the wind mustn't fluffy a lot on his wings, otherwise they'll still then feel colder. But the feather, it's like we have clothes. But mainly also they can take a bath, this bird, fly into water and then back to the branch. For that, they would shiver their wings just to get rid of a small parasite when they do that. Keep looking in this direction here. It's a lot of a thicket there on the edge of this watering hole. I don't know, maybe some of a few insects that may be floating about or in these brushes. So everybody, we're gonna take a listening here, and then otherwise we're gonna look for something else. In the meantime, let's go over to Cedric, who is also on the move.
Yeah, welcome back with me. As I was mentioning, we were moving a bit back to quarantine, so we just arrived at quarantine. It's getting a bit lighter now, so it is nice. The sun is shining. I was hoping maybe to find some wildebeest here, but for the moment I don't see them. I'm doing a lot of driving this morning. Hopefully we'll be able to stop soon and look at something interesting. We found a steenbok. They are often seen here, but usually when you stop, they always start running. What I will do, I will try to get a bit further, maybe we'll stop and we can have a look. Wait, let me do it like that. I'm going to leave the car on a little bit just for him to get used to us before I switch off. You could see, well, as soon as I switch off the car, look at this. It is a beautiful small antelope. This would be a female? Oh, I'm sorry, I can see the horns now, so it would be a male. Yeah, a young male, tiny horns. They are one of the smallest antelope here. If I'm not mistaken, they don't live very long. About 13 years. I will double check that, but I think this is how long they live. They normally live in pairs. There's a female around. We often see them when we drive here. So when they run, it's quite funny to see. They're quite shy, so generally when you get close to them, they tend to run away. And they have a very nice white little bum that you can see when they run. You can see feeding now. Yes, Lisa, thank you very much. Yes, they are beautiful antelopes. Also, you can see they obviously need a bit of cover at night. So this antelope will also beneficiate from actually the destructive feeding of the elephants, because when you were seeing now, it was feeding around this tree trunk. During the summer, when the grass is longer, it will create a very nice habitat for him to hide at night. So the grass will grow around that tree trunk that was pushed by an elephant, and they will be able to hide there. Let me try to go a bit forward and see if we can get a better view. Just lift his head now. They're not easy to see, they are quite small. Yeah, I think we're going to let him be, and we will make our way towards Treehouse Dam and see what we can find there. Trying to locate the other one. Can't see it. Oh, there's a beautiful waterbuck. Brad, you would like to know why our steenbok are generally alone? They're not really most of the time alone. They will be with a mate. So there will always be a female and a male alone, but they will tend to be, that's true, quite alone in a sense, not close to the other antelope. But what I've noticed here is that often we drive here and we found them, they are often staying close to impalas. But it is true that sometimes they're quite alone. Yeah, but it will be safer for them to be closer to other antelopes in a way, as we say, safety in numbers. So it will be easier for them to hear alarm call, because it will be easier for Impala, for example, to spot a predator as they are taller than the steenbok. So we have a beautiful bull waterbuck here. I think we saw him yesterday, sitting. They're highly dependent on water. They always be about 5 kilometers in, close to water. They are very fluffy when they are young, as you might have seen before. And they are beautiful horns, especially for the male, because the female doesn't have horns. So they do have a very strong smell. It's like a musky smell. So bulls are territorial. And you can sometimes smell this musky smell from quite far. They have lots of glands actually underneath their skin that release this smell. And so also what is quite interesting is that the lions, some people say the lions would not enjoy to hunt them because of the taste of the meat. Yeah, so sometimes when they release this smell, it can make the meat taste quite bad. However, we have seen in the past lions feeding on waterbuck, definitely. But generally, when they get stressed, they release this musky odor in the meat that will make the meat taste badly, basically. Sorry, I apologize, I was struggling a bit to explain that now. So they're quite big antelope. They weigh for the male up to 270 kilos, which is quite big. It would be the size of a very big male lion. Yeah. It is nice to spend some time with them. So you can see now he's sitting, ruminating, the cud, excuse me. So maybe he had a long night and now he's trying to warm up in the sun. Well, soon now he's currently sitting in the shade. It is always nice to spend time at quarantine for the antelopes. They normally, I think Andrew found a big herd of Impala this morning also around here. So there's always antelopes around. It would be better to have a leopard around. He seems very relaxed there. Yeah, so I think on our side, as I was mentioning earlier, we will start moving and heading towards Treehouse Dam, see what we can find there, and hopefully we'll be a bit lucky. It was quite nice this morning with the hornbill, but now getting a bit quiet.
Everybody, we now are going to have to start looking for something else, and then Cedric is going to be in the area, so I'm going to go over to Chitwa, see if there is anything happening on the east. That is what I'm going to do right now. probably find maybe cats or anything on the way out there. There is no more these alarm, so we've been checking, and so we'll probably get a bit. I'm myself gonna give it a little bit of a break. Yeah. And then we're gonna look for probably zebra, giraffe, in a while. And then I'm gonna carry on, but let's go over to Cedric.
Welcome back with me. So we left this waterbuck. We actually decided instead of going to Treehouse Dam to check also Twin Dam. The road is a bit smoother to get there. As soon as I said that, we hit a big bump. Yeah, I'm really hoping to find something a bit interesting today. Yesterday we did try very hard, but I was not lucky, so we still have a long time to go, so let's be quite confident. Yesterday we saw a beautiful giraffe also at Twin Dam. Maybe this giraffe will still be in the area. Some report that the Talamatis might have crossed towards Buffelshoek. It haven't been confirmed yet, but some people found tracks going in that direction. So if I get any updates on that, we'll see what we can do. Oh. The red-billed hornbill right there. A very relaxed one. It's about 2.5 meters from me. It's a beautiful bird. So we saw the ground hornbill this morning, and this one is a southern red-billed hornbill. Okay, he decided to hide now, so we'll continue. And he goes. Safari Kitty, you would like to know what is the most important thing that I've learned as a guide, but I didn't learn in a book. To never be too confident, actually. Because you often think you will go and drive and you will find everything, but it's not always the case. So, and on the other side, to be also quite, give a lot of respect to the animals. So yeah, I think it is quite important to be very humble in the bush, respect the animals, and also sometimes you can't force destiny. So if you struggle to find an animal, what I'm having this morning now, you need to stay calm and remain confident, and hopefully your luck will change. Makes sense. I was one time with a guide. We were on a drive and we couldn't find much. And I was feeling a bit sad for him, and he said to me, "No, it is a difficult environment. If the animals are not there, when there's not much you can do. Obviously, skills play a lot of part of it to find the animals by listening to alarm calls, tracking, etc. But starting, we had quite good sighting on the first day when I arrived, but now it dropped a bit, and that sometimes plays a bit on your confidence. But we continuing working, and all that we want to do actually is give you great sighting. So this is our main goal. You would like to know if I have a favorite leopard in the Sabi Sand? I apologize, I will come back to your question. There was a beautiful black-headed oriole there, but unfortunately, as you know, birds fly away. Yeah, so you would like to know if I have a favorite leopard in the Sabi Sands. I've been more often in the Sabi Sands, a little bit more south, so I used to like leopard more in the south, like treehouse male, for example. For Juma, I didn't had a lot of experience with the leopards here. So I think for now, my favorite leopard for now would be Davangumi, just because of the sighting that I had on the first day. It is a beautiful leopard, and the way he was so relaxed next to me, that was quite nice. But I would love, it's quite of a dream of mine to see Tingana. So that would be awesome. But generally, I love every leopard. So it's a bit of a new start for me here. Which is exciting is that you see animals that you never saw before, leopards, for example, that you never saw before, and you tend to try to create a close bond. It's 1,000 hectares, so it's a big territory. Now we are currently more in the north part of the Sabi Sands. So we're making our way to the south now, and we'll see what we can find. In the meantime, we'll send you to Andrew.
So everybody, we also doing the same, moving further away to the east at the moment, and then hoping to find anything else. It's not that we think there's no animals around Juma. There is animals. Probably they still well hidden there. Those cats won't come out just yet. So we're just gonna find whatever it's gonna be available for us to show everybody. Where there's elephants, where there's giraffe, zebras, wildebeest, lions. And the pride of lion actually have moved back to the north again. So they're no longer in Juma. But we'll find out what is happening in the east. Maybe they have lions back there. Go elephant! Ha. This is what I like about. The minute you think is nothing, there is animals. So we got a group of probably small herds of elephants feeding in this area. They're right there. See the young one trying to sniff up in the air using this little trunk. These young ones practicing to feed, but the bigger one is probably the mother, I think, not the one that's near it. That's a way of learning how to use a trunk. Begin from that. An easy little one. They were all taken care. So I'm going to stick around here, watch them.
South African Guide of the Year has been an event that we have all been looking forward to. However, South Africa has gone into lockdown level 4, which means we will no longer be able to hold the ceremony this week. The assessments in the bush will still carry on, however the awards will take place later in the year when it is safe to do so. We are looking after those who look after our natural world. Thank you for your understanding. We really do appreciate your support.
As one of the industry's best and FAGASA-endorsed training institutes, NJ Moorfield Guide College produces professional guides of exceptional caliber and gives students from around the world an incredible experience. NJ Moore offers courses to suit all types of interests. The full-length career course results in a FAGASA-accredited qualification and the option of a 6-month internship at one of Moore Family Collection's luxury safari lodges. Shorter courses are a great introduction for those considering a career in field guiding or even a life-enriching experience in your gap year. With spaces still available in July, don't miss out on this fantastic opportunity to live your African dream.
My name is Lauren and I'm currently working in Djuma Private Game Reserve here in South Africa. I love answering your questions during the live safaris. It's my favorite part. It feels like you're on the vehicle with me and I'm able to teach you exactly what you want to know. If you want to ask a question on Wild Earth, then you need to register on our website. Once registered, you must go to the live safari page and ask your question below the live feed.
We have a baby pangolin, a baby pangolin. This is off the charts. This animal is about from your fingertips to your elbow. That's the total length of this animal. This is unreal. This is unreal. This is unreal. This is like now my 4th Christmas in a week. We should do this more often.
Tune into Wild Earth every single day. It's in your nature.
So everybody, we're still sitting here just got an elephant. And they are doing their best of feeding in that wood. They may come out for us, may stay there, depending on how the movement they've been doing before we got here. But it's always great to watch the elephants do their best in the wild. So you're asking, there isn't a big tusker in Djuma. It's been a while since I've seen a big tusker. He often come in from the East Kruger Park area there, but I haven't seen him in a while now, or for a long time. But there used to be one that came in and out. Gotta be a lot of them around that we don't see at the moment, but this is pretty much we can see at the moment, and then we're probably gonna hear from them because sometimes they do communicate, which is a rumbling of the tummy. And when they do that, they all wait for a response. If there is more member around here, and they will probably respond to that. Regularly asking at what age or when do the young elephants able to start using their trunk properly. So that's when they're anything from about 5 months they can able to use it properly. Or what we've seen the young one there running around in his group, still under 5 months. But that then, it's actually still best time for that little one. By 3 months, they already started to understand what the trunk is all about. Because, yes, when they're very young, they wouldn't know what the trunk is for. Only take a while for them to practice to use it, until they know it's a tool. By 6-7 months, they're already well trained. Not 100%, but it's getting in there by age of 2-3 years, and that's where they're actually full trained to use their trunk, because already tuskers well developed at that age. One of the big mammal out here, elephants, with a thick layer of skin, about 2.6 centimeter thick skin, where the hippos still have the thickness of the skin compared to even the rhino also. 6 centimeters, and a hippo. So you're saying a great noise coming out of this elephant. It is indeed. Look at this one without a tusk. I think I recognize her. I'm just gonna take a listen to all of this sound they're making. Just looks like they all both sides of the road over here. And this is the boundary, that one we just saw them crossing the road. They crossed the boundary to the other side, but there is still more to come from Djuma property, so we still had a lot of chance to watch them. So we're gonna see if there is all of them come out, join the road here. So they're all over. It it's so windy that we can't hear properly, through the bush, but we can see them through the bush, where they're still probably going to make their way towards us as well. Amazing animals that I don't actually make such a sound, but they just disturbing bushes. That's where you can hear that they're still around, or we get a visual of them as well, so they're still around us. Drive backwards.
So we arrived at 3 hours down. There's not much happening here except for 2 woolly neck storks. As you can see, currently feeding there. Oh, beautiful storks. As you know, there's a lot of different types of storks. They are quite tall, up to 84 centimeters. Quite heavy as well. Well, for a bird, 1.8 kilos, which is very far compared to the curry bustard, which is the heaviest flying bird that can reach 18 kilos. So they eat lots of frogs, crabs, mollusks, and some fish. So they are now very busy feeding, as you can see. It's always a bit difficult when you get to a dam and you see not much, but finally we got here and we didn't see much, and then these 2 woolly neck stork just showed up, so that was nice. It looks like it's a bit of a birding day today. I know that Andrew found a brown-hooded kingfisher earlier. It is quite nice to look at them feed, actually. So we will walk around the dam like that and try to catch some fish. They generally nest in big trees. I often see their nest in jackalberries. And they do a nest which will be kind of flat with lots of stick. I think we will watch them a little bit longer, and then we will continue driving and try to find something else. They're actually listed as near threatened, so that means they're a little bit endangered. But you can, in this area you see them quite often. At Juma I'm not sure how often you see them. But I know in the Kruger Park you can see them. Okay, I think we're going to make our way a bit toward the west, and we will send you back to the elephants with Andrew.
So everybody was still sitting here with the beautiful elephants. The sun is coming through pretty much beautifully, and they would love being in a warm but not very hot. And this is actually pretty much far in between the watering hole. But I'm sure when they're in need of water, they would probably head down to drink somewhere, probably in the west. So this one we're looking at now, they're already crossing to, it's called Aratusa property. But there's quite a few of them still in Juma, that they may actually make their way across the road, hopefully while we're still around here. And that one is actually just feeding very nice, smooth. Foreigner, you're asking, would the elephants give birth standing up? Yes, they would do that. Position themselves and then spread their rear leg and give birth. So the baby ones dropped off ground, and the whole member would come get around, just welcome the new member that has born. And there will be a lot of noise that moment. In the next hour or two, the baby would probably wobble around, trying to locate the teat, which is under the foreleg. That mother, she has to actually pose very well for that baby to take a drink in 3 hours' time. Janice, so you're asking whether a male and a female mate and stay together for several days. I never seen that. The female should come on heat estrus for about probably anything 7 days cycle, 15 days cycle, and it probably maybe several males would mate with her, because she doesn't actually stay on heat forever. Unless that male would be sticking around in that herd, follow them around, since he comes on must as well. Elephant's only pregnancy for 22 months. And once the baby born, may drink for probably nearly 3 years or above 3 years. But about 5 years, and then from there she may tolerate or comes on heat the mother, expecting the new baby in the next probably 2 years from there. So period between birth, it's anything 8 years, 7 years possibly, somewhere between. Just gonna pick that wood up. Oops, I'm not sure what she's doing. Probably scratched her back. It's not only just feeding methods there, what is happening. So David, you're asking, does a chewing bark way down your tooth? It does, but these one is still far too young to have that kind of situations. But these tooth weigh down a little by little as they're grown up, and this is actually affect them when they age of 45, 50 years, and that's why halfway they already have an external tooth growth, and this is when they're about 25. They do actually have a milk tooth as well. So the reason they have to grow a more set of tooth is that they live for at least longer than they need to stand and feed. For their job, this animal is to eat all day long. For that, their tooth has to be balanced, and that would sustain this animal lifespan. Such an amazing what this young one just went down, and that baby is just trying to get on the top. That young female, she had a lot to do there. She just picking up that wood, trying to put it on her back. eventually she went down flat. It's a way of a rest as well. Gonna see what happened because more member they're about to cross the road heading in that direction. You can see two young one here, young female and a young male, and they're probably going to do the same or this young one can't stop trying to ride on her probably sister's back. Can't actually get up there. Just trying the best. So you're commenting, oh my word, this is so good. Actually, with elephants they can do so much. You're very right, and I'm so happy that everybody's enjoying this because they're like dwarf mongoose, these guys. They always have a business to do when you watch them. Also, it's so great that they're doing it right in the open so we can see them clearly. And the wind hasn't stopped, picking up slightly. Okay, so you're asking if I ever seen an animal taking the elephant down? No, I haven't witnessed that. I haven't seen elephants getting hunted by any cats also, or taken down, or trying to be hunted by lions. A lot of time we see lions, always avoid them. But I know it does happen sometimes when these young ones are isolated and move away from the rest of the herd, come across the bunch of lions, they may get hunted. a bull elephant. There's a dominance happen there, where there is the bigger one will probably always dominate the youngest. Those not behaving, they may be pushed off. But among these females here, it's kind of like a unique bond where they take care of their young one. The young females, they remain in their group forever. So everybody, I'm gonna keep watching these animals, see how they disappear. In the meantime, I'm gonna be sending you across to Cedric.
Yeah, so we finally managed to find the Talamatis. Actually, this morning we were driving quite close to this area, and we turned left on another road, and if we continue straight we might have found them. But some colleague of ours managed to find them, so we made our way here, and we are happy because they are still here. So this is a young male, lying down. The rest of the pride is a little bit more at the back, lying in the open area there. I'm going to look at this one a little bit and maybe reposition to get a view of the others. Yeah, so it is only the second time I see them. I saw them yesterday morning and now today. So we are not actually very far from where they were yesterday, because we're still we're not too far from Gary Dam, where they were yesterday morning. So they didn't move a lot. Maybe this one turned around now. We should reposition in a while, and then try to see the others. It is quite open here, so it's quite nice. There's not lots of bushes, and it's always nice to find them on the road like that instead of deep in a block. Like yesterday afternoon, we were trying to relocate them. It was quite hard. It looked like we're very comfortable here. We might spend the rest of the day here. Lying down, resting. Obviously they're more active at night or early in the morning when it gets cooler. And during the heat of the day they like to lie down and rest. Saying that though, it is common for them to move during the day as well. I had the experience a while ago in the Kruger National Park actually. We were watching at 3 lionesses lying down, and it was at 11 during the day. It was 36 degrees, and some of the person there asked, "Do you think they will hunt?" And I said, "No, I don't think so. It is too hot. I think they will lie there and relax." And as soon as I said that, one lioness spotted a wildebeest, which I think was injured, but in a very far distance, about 300 meters. And they start stalking this wildebeest, and they killed the wildebeest in front of us. So you never know. So you always amazed in the bush. You can say, no, you don't think they will hunt now, and then they get an opportunity and they go for it. You can see more of them lying at the back there. Fortunately, this one is looking away. This is quite a big pride, huh? Yeah, they're all looking very healthy. We might have ate recently. The tummy look a bit full. So that's very nice to see. I'm happy we found them this morning. The first report sounded like they might have crossed to Buffelshoek, but then we found more trucks coming in that direction. Hopefully they will stay on Juma for a while. It would be nice to see them for a few days in a row. And okay, we're going to wait here and see if we can get a better view.
So we're still sitting here, actually looking at these herd of elephants. They get into that position of that young female where she laid down. They're probably waiting for a royal member to join them. And quite a few of them are still joining the road. But I would assume maybe she's the matriarch. We're just gonna see when she get there where they are. Maybe they're gonna do any movement. Then we know she's the one in charge. I didn't want to be in this position because in case the car calmed down, what do? We need to frame up higher. Right, so still be here, just now on the other side of the road. No, maybe actually the car when I drive past by. That would worry me because we're in the main road over here. So may have to pan up to the sky a little bit so we don't frame somebody's vehicle. But this is actually a better spot for us to be, just to watch them there. Donnie asking how long can a baby elephant stand or walk. So anything around 30-40 minutes would wobble it to stand. From there, could probably walk by half an hour, by maybe an hour. Then the young one will be able to walk there. Just not too sure. We saw the bigger one that was just actually had to join there. And all I'm thinking, maybe she's the matriarch, because maybe they were waiting for her, or there's still more a member that still has to come out of that bush. Trunk and the tuskers, they can be a tool for themselves. Elephant without a tusker, we saw one here. She would still survive, but she already used other way of feed. Because when elephants feed, they would need a tuskers to help the trunk break off branches. And the trunk is just made out of the muscles, only no bone in there. So Nazarene, you're saying it's so nice to see the family of elephants gathering. It's also so important. I mean, I just enjoy also watching them, because you don't often get to see them do this. You always see them run or move, feed separated apart, but that's so cool. Even these young ones still practicing a little bit of a running around back there. That is even so beautiful to watch them, these young ones. You just can't really get tired of watching such animals like elephants. Amongst all animals, they're the one more likely to be active than the rest, because they're gonna stand, they're gonna move, they're gonna find water, food. It makes a less chance for them to be able to stand still or sleep. So everybody looks like they're disappearing now. So I'm gonna leave them. I'm gonna try and see if I can find something else.
So we just moved a little bit closer to this young male lion. The rest of the pride is still lying down flat on the other side. Hopefully they will move a little bit, that we can get a better view. But as you can see now, they're all lying on top of each other almost. That helps them to bond a bit, but also it is still a bit cool, so maybe it's helping them warming up as well in the morning. They're having a little scratch there. Yeah, so lions can run quite fast, and we can cover 100 meters in 6 seconds. If you compare that to a human who do it just under 10 seconds, it's a very big difference. And obviously it's very important for them to run fast, obviously to be able to hunt prey species. It's quite amazing that they didn't move too far from where we saw them yesterday. But it's a good news. Hopefully they will stay in the area, as I was saying earlier. The only issue with lions, when it gets a bit warm, or after a long night of hunting or moving, they like to lie down during the day and do not a lot of things, just lying down and resting. We can rest up to 20 hours a day. But of course they will be highly active at night. It would be great to see a lion kill. It is quite impressive to see with all the noise and at the speed at what is going. You can see he's licking himself now to clean himself, obviously, but they are very rough tongue. Even when they lick a piece of meat on the bone, they might even get little pieces of meat just by licking the kill. So it's a very rough tongue. Still scratching himself. So this is a young male. They normally get pushed out of pride in their third year. I'm not familiar, as you know, with this pride, so I'm not sure how old he is exactly. But they tend to be pushed out of the pride to become a nomadic male at around just past 3 years old. So then he will try to walk around, and when he gets a bit older, try to win a pride and a territory. They are looking, but some of them are standing up now. There's also one coming towards us on the right-hand side on the road. A very nice female. So male lions will get to maturity around 7 years old. Yeah, the dew claw, that's a very good question. It does have a function. It can help them to hunt, if I'm not mistaken there. I didn't talk about the dew claw for a long time, so it's a bit blurry in my head. But I will check on it and come back to you. There was a bit of blood on this female who just passed us on the tail. So maybe we had a kill recently. I don't know why they are moving now, just don't want... I just want to see where we're going. They're lying just behind us. Gabi, you would like to know if the dew claw have a function. Definitely. I'm just a little bit blurry on that subject at the moment. I will check and come back to you on that. Yeah, the male will kind of start growing when they're still young, around 2 years old. It will start from just over 1 year old, but it will grow for a long time. The mane will continuously growing depending on the gene of the lion, but it is very important for the male to have a nice mane. The reason why is that, for example, when they fight with other male, it can protect the neck area, and also they say that a lion with a beautiful dark mane tend to be liked a bit more by the females. We're all moving behind us at the moment, and now we're lying on the road behind us. So we're going to sit there. I'm just going to check on that dew claw question and see what I can find.
Hello everyone, my name is Elmarie and I'm very excited about this drive. My husband Kleinhan bought me this Ticket to Dream for my birthday as a present because he knows I watch Wild Earth all the time. I couldn't be more happy. I've never had such a great present in my life before.
If you want to go on safari with a Wild Earth guide, whilst honing your bush knowledge and of course featuring in one of our shows, then head over to our website.
Okay, my favorite part about Wild Earth is the characters, and then of course I love the bush and I love Africa, and just the fact that I can follow every day, that's one of my favorite things.
Sign up to be a Wild Earth explorer and you could be making your first ever on-screen appearance.
Being on a live drive on Wild Earth is really great because you can actually now smell the bush, see the animals in real life. You have to really make a plan and just do it.
Hi everybody, I'm Tiana, I'm from Johannesburg, and I am one of Wild Earth's biggest fans.
Been watching for 4 years, DG here from the Ozarks.
It's been 4 years for me and I'm not leaving anytime soon.
It's given me a time away from the hassles of the city, and it's given me a connection to a place that has stolen my heart, which is Africa.
Last year we lost our son, and now we're just watching Wild Earth. Love to all you guys.
You are reminding us of the role that we play in nature conservation, each and every one of us. You have reconnected myself to a dream that I had as a child to get involved in nature conservation, and for that I'm really grateful for as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
My name is Steve, and one of my favorite things at Wild Earth is getting questions from you. The type of questions that I really like are those ones that really help us to unpack and understand and really integrate the ecological knowledge and fully appreciate the importance that animals such as these Cape buffalo bring to the ecosystem. If you want to ask a question on Wild Earth, you're going to have to register on the website. But once registered, just head on over to the live safari page and enter your question under the live feed.
So we got the duck mane, and then we were told that he was moving in this direction across the boundary of the southern boundary of Djuma, Gary Mane. It came from one of these property up in the south, but it's now in Djuma, which is very good. The bride, his bride, is also in Djuma. It's quite a wind, everybody, already. As you can see, his mane always trying to be disturbed by the wind as well. awake, half asleep. Could see his ears, his eyes as well. Wind picking up, but they still hear properly. It's an amazing. Everybody. So you're saying you're so happy to see the dark mane. I'm also happy that he's back in Djuma from the south. I'm not sure how far south he has gone into, because that's where the Nkuhuma also have went. I was hoping maybe he's going to spend more days up there. But no, he returned back to Djuma. Talamati in Djuma also, so it's a good news. Doesn't look really fully bellied to me. Just not to show what the Talamati look like there, whether they're eaten, whether they're also empty belly. His leg up. So everybody, we're going to stay here just to see what he's going to be up to. And then in the meantime, let's cross over to Cedric, also with the Pride of Line.
So we're back with a Pride. It is amazing how far we can see. There was a marabou stork flying now on top of us, and all their eyes just... There we go, you can see one looking at it. It's important for them to do that because they... Obviously marabou stork will be at some kills as well with the vultures, so they tend to follow them sometime to find a kill. To come back to the dew claw, yeah, so it is used for hunting. It helps them to catch the prey, actually, to secure the prey when they bounce on the prey. So it's on the wrist, just on top of the paw there. Lions are not the most successful hunters, and for big prides like that they generally need quite a lot of meat. So this is why also they are very opportunistic. So any chance they will get, they will try to catch what's walking around. Obviously, if it's not too far during the day, they will stay there if it's too far, but at night they will start stalking and catch the prey. Now they will lie there here for the rest of the day, I think. Kevin, you would like to know if all the female of this pride will mate with the male in charge? Yeah, actually they will mate with the avoca male. I'm not very familiar with this pride on my side, but generally the males protect the females and mate with them, yeah. So the males in charge of the Talamatis is the avoca males. I heard that Andrew might have found one earlier, which is very nice. But all the female will also remain in the pride. There's another one walking past us now, looking at the car. I can see their fluffy tail, and this is quite apparent now on the ground, used as a follow me sign, and obviously the black patch behind the ears as well serves as communication, especially when they hunt. Then they can see where are all the members of the pride and get the better chance to corner the prey and catch it. It is getting a bit warmer now, so this is why we came to lie here. There's a knob thorn that's creating a bit of shade. Yeah. At least we did find some lions before the end of the show, which is quite nice. So also the female will try to synchronize their breeding, because they will mutually suckle the cubs. So one cub can feed on another female, for example. But obviously they will hide the cubs before introducing them to the pride for up to 6 weeks. The reason why the other cubs, which is older, might be a bit stronger and bully them a bit. And also lions are born quite helpless, so they need to hide them. They are born blind and they need to stay hidden for a while. Yeah, so all these lionesses will be related and they will remain in the pride. Eva, you would like to know when the sub-adult male leave the pride? If it was up for them, they would actually stay in the pride, but the male lions, the dominant male, tends to move away from the pride in their 3rd year. So that male, the young males will they will be nomadic and try to hunt for themselves. It's quite a difficult time for them, especially now, with all the reserve, which is fenced, for example, they don't have as much space to go compared to a long time ago. So it is a tough time for them to be alone and try to find one piece of land where they will not be in danger from other dominant male. But yeah, they will be pushed out around in their 3rd year. So they will get fully matured at about 7 years. And male lions tend to live not too long. They can reach 18 years max, but they generally live until 10 years old. Between 10 and 14 years old. So 18 years is quite rare. Yeah, now we're just lying there and not being very entertaining, unfortunately. Can still see this marabou stork flying around them on top there. Yeah, and I see also some vultures in the distance. Okay, so we'll wait here and see what happens. Yeah, so this marabou stork, it's a bit difficult now to show you because it's flying behind us. Hopefully it will move in front of us and we'll be able to direct the camera on it. Yeah, so it's quite nice sometimes to see lions looking in the sky because it's a very good indication for them because, as you know, they like to scavenge as well. So if they see some vultures going down in one area, they might go and investigate. I have the feeling that this marabou stork might be following these lions actually. It is getting a bit windy here, which is not great for this time of the year because the bush is very dry and it creates a risk of fire, especially it is quite warm. So natural fires occurs quite often in winter. This one is having a nice snooze there. I've never been in that part of the reserve actually. We turned left going more north earlier. And it is nice to discover this beautiful part with some lions. Yeah, the wind generally is quite good for the predators because the prey will hear a little bit less better because of the sounds of a leaf. So it gives a little bit of advantage to the predators to hunt. Can see this one looking up.
So everybody was still sitting here with the dark mane, and then he just taking it easy. The shadows. He's probably following the shadow because the first time when we arrived, it was so much in the sun, and then now he's probably gonna do that a lot. Where here, I think it's the best spot, knowing that the water also it's way down to the east. That's the Treehouse Dam, the nearest water if you ever want to drink there. But he probably drank from wherever he came from this morning. It's great, having him back. Maybe tonight he's gonna roar for us. Feel all the vibration. Like you're asking, would the wind makes the prey species so confused? Yes, pretty much. So wind disturbed a lot of hearing on a prey species, but makes the carnivore species happy because they now can do their hunting exercise peacefully and they don't get to hear by prey species a lot at night. But it applies the same also when it's pouring rain. They love it so much, these cats, because they can able to do their hunting very well. All the prey species so confused. Those get around in the open, such as Impala, they have to do that because they don't trust. Could they will be in the wood, but on lookout. So, Butterfly, you're asking, would a duckman walking okay or is still limping? So, he's still limping, especially when he just started to move. A few steps, he still show a little bit of limping, but when you move further than that, then he's moving normally again. So we're gonna stay watch duckman. Hopefully he gets to stood up for us.
As the sun goes down in Africa, for many, the day has just begun. Wild Earth is ready for the next brand new concept, and this time it's at night. A specialized thermal drone will take to the air under the cover of darkness. As it flies above the bush, it will be searching for hotspots on the ground.
We might have a leopard on the far right of this group of hyena.
The ground team will then be called to identify the animal.
It is a warthog. That's exactly what it is. So there we go. It was a warthog that was running away from... Sorry, Warty.
And of course, it is at this time when the big cats are on the hunt.
Yeah, James just head a little bit more left.
Okay, copy. I'm going to go north around on Impala Road.
Okay, the lions are on the move, guys. Lions are chasing the wildebeest.
Wild Earth is looking for a sponsor who can help turn this show to a long-running series. If you are interested, then head over to our website to find out more. wildearth.tv/sponsors. As one of the industry's best and Fagasa endorsed training institutes, NJ Moorfield Guide College produces professional guides of exceptional caliber and gives students from around the world an incredible experience. NJ Moore offers courses to suit all types of interests. The full-length career course results in a Fagasa accredited qualification and the option of a 6-month internship at one of Moore Family Collection's luxury safari lodges. Shorter courses are a great introduction for those considering a career in field guiding or even a life-enriching experience in your gap year. With spaces still available in July, don't miss out on this fantastic opportunity to live your African dream.
Hi everyone, my name's Daniel Fisher and I'm going to be your guide this afternoon. I'm looking really forward to taking you through and showing you all the beautiful places here at and Beyond Ngala. If you have any questions, please register on our website. Once registered, go to the live page feed and post your questions underneath the live feed. Join me on my next safari through and Beyond Ngala on Wild Earth. Send me live questions through the Wild Earth website and I'll answer them live from the African bush.
Yeah, nothing much happened since you went back to Andrew. So they're all still lying there. And the wind have picked up a little bit more. And they're all, some of them cleaning themselves, and some of them are sleeping. Yeah, this is what they do best. You can see how relaxed this one is there, probably sleeping at the moment. So the meeting, Lions meeting is quite a long affair actually. They will mate every 20 minutes for up to 4 days. So that's a lot of mating. And the mating will last about 1 minute, but sometimes a bit less. And they have very low fertility, so they have to mate a lot to be able to get pregnant. So they say for every cub reaching 1 year old, the parents would have made about 3,000 times. So this is why they have to mate every 20 minutes for 4 days to give them the better chance to get cubs. And the gestation period will be around 110 days. And they can have between 1 to 6 cubs, but generally it's around 3 cubs. But obviously it may vary every time. I'm still moving a bit, trying to find a best spot to lie. This one, there's some lying at the back in the shade there. You can see one paw up. Yeah, I think we might stay here the rest of the day. Hopefully this afternoon, if we can come back in this area and see some action, would be great. Would be quite amazing to see a kill. But we will have to have a lot of luck for that. But it can happen, obviously. It was quite a difficult start this morning, so at least we managed to find them and spend some time with them, which is quite nice. I'm quite happy also that Andrew found Dark Mane, because Dark Mane left Juma yesterday, so he just made his way back. This one is... Okay, so we will still wait here and hopefully something interesting might happen. In the meantime, we will send you to Pride Lands with Mike.
So it might not just be to get warm that's got these lions getting active. Perhaps it's the wind as well, because here at Pride Lands, in any case, the wind has started to pick up. And as you can see, there's a lot of ripples in this small dam, which is actually quite a large dam. And I was challenged by Freddie, our backup, to try and put Fibonacci sequence in this segment, try and see if I could link it somehow to these waves. Now, if you look at the waves, you might see that they do have a kind of a regularity to them. And as you cast your eyes across the dam, they do curve depending on what they hit. Trees and reeds and logs in the water. And that's about as far as I can go with waves in the Fibonacci sequence. But it actually does occur in nature quite frequently. And if you've ever looked at a fern, or if you've looked at sunflower seeds, or even the shells of snails, they all have these concentric rings that slowly widen. It's actually quite beautiful how nature fits into geometry and mathematics. It's not for everyone, though. I wonder if there's some lions here on Pride Lands, or leopards, that were somewhere nearby yesterday when we went to find them. I wonder if this wind is also piquing their curiosity. Remember, when it's windy, it means that it's quite easy to sneak up on animals. Impalas, who also have spiral rings on their horns, maybe that could be a little Fibonacci, would not be able to smell a leopard coming if it came from the right direction. And there's a nice constant wind. They wouldn't be able to see their movements as the grass is rippling and swirling. I mean, yesterday, or a couple of days ago, I managed to get about 15 meters away from a herd of impalas, and I wasn't even aware of them until they were quite close anyway. But imagine if I was a leopard, built for stealth, how close I could get to impalas with using the wind like this. Perfect hunting, or as perfect as it can get for a daytime hunting scenario. Well, speaking of the lions, Andrew's got a male. Let's see what he's up to.
Thanks, Mike. You're very right. Wind is really cool for such a cat. It's getting, for the duck man over here, it's getting so much light already. So he may find himself still lying down in this area. But it's good because, afternoon, we're going to be checking on these cats. Both Talamati and the Heron. And I'm sure they will be hungry by then. They're probably going to show a little bit of a hunt for us. So, Paula, you commenting saying that he looks healthy. He is healthy, the duck man. But he's been actually doing well there. Good idea of being behind the bride, his bride. So whenever they kill, he's there to feed also. But at his own benefit, it's also important for him to separate from them, so he would be able to do his work, reactivate the scent. We may probably hear him again this afternoon, roaring about, probably. Oops, he's checking out. body of elephants way off. Could be the same herd of elephants we've seen. Or could it be the different herd? With the wind blowing our way, there's a chance you can hear things coming from far away. So I think this morning we have done well there then. Starting from the quarantine, look around for the animals, see if we can find them. Even though we failed to find a spotted cat, but we got a him there. We got a lion this morning, 2 sighting going. Talamati and the duck mane. So it's even actually worked well for us. It was worth coming out to this wind this morning. So everybody, we are coming in the end of the morning show of the day, and it was all a privilege of you all joining us this morning, but we will be seeing you this afternoon again. From us, goodbye for now.
This program features live coverage of an African safari and may include animal kills and carcasses. Viewer discretion is advised.